Hello, welcome to this week's episode of Tuesday's Talk. This is Pamela Jean. Thank you so much for joining me. I want to talk today about the old saying, the saying I heard this when I was a kid growing up all the time, called practice makes perfect. And I think I heard it most when I was probably, I want to say 8 to 12 years old, in that range. I was taking piano lessons. And I always heard from my teacher, my piano teacher, as well as my parents, that practice makes perfect. You got to get in there and practice your piano lesson because practice makes perfect. Well, that's totally didn't work for me because I still can't really play the piano, and honestly, I was horrible at it. And I was terrified of my piano teacher. She was a little old lady who had a gruffness about her that she terrified me, to be honest with you. And then she had a dog that would always charge at me when I walked up to her door and would scare me to death. So there were a lot of things that went into me not being a successful piano player. But practice makes perfect was definitely not the truth. In all reality, I honestly believe that practice makes perfect is a myth. It's a total lie because there is no perfection. Perfection does not exist, and I think our constant effort and reaching for perfection in everything we do is really a problem. It creates a lot of mindset blocks. It derails us oftentimes in being our best self and being satisfied and happy with who we are, because we are striving for this ridiculous conception of what perfection is and what that looks like. When something is perfect, that means there's no growth. There's nowhere to grow. And if you reach a place in your life and your heart that is perfect, that there's perfection, then that truly means that you're not growing anymore. And I don't want to stop growing. I want to keep striving and reaching and changing and evolving and seeking out my best life. So I want us to try to change the narrative, change the thinking of practice makes perfect, and shift that towards practice makes progress. Because every time you practice something, every time you work on something, you're making progress, you're evolving, you're changing, you're growing. And I think we all want to keep growing. We don't want to stop. We don't want to plateau and just slide through the rest of our lives. We want to keep growing and being open to where we need to be, where life fits for us. Because if you love to serve people like I do, you're always going to be looking for ways that you can help someone else through your work, through your church, through your personal life, whatever that looks like for you. We want to work towards that progress part and keep striving. And I also want you to think about this. Are you successful? Just to ask, are you successful? Are you where you want to be with your level of success in your life? If you are, then my applause to you. That's awesome. Congratulations. If you're not, then why not? What decisions are you making or not making that are holding you back from being the success that you want to be, and that more importantly, that you're capable of being? We're all put on this earth with different skill sets. I will never, ever, ever in a zillion years be a brain surgeon. That is not in my wheelhouse. First of all, the thought of going to school for that for so many years is nauseating to me, that I have no interest in doing that. Thank goodness there are people that are equipped to do that. But every single person that you meet has a different set of skills. We all have things that we're good at, and we have things that we're not so good at. So if there's a part of your life, let's say you want to start a business, you've been just dying to start this business, and it keeps you up at night. You wake up in the middle of the night and you are dreaming about this business. Then then why are you not going after that dream? Why are you not making that a reality for yourself? Now, that doesn't mean that you go into work tomorrow and quit your job because you're going to start a business. It's not at all what that means. But take the first step. Take the first step and commit yourself to making those dreams come true, creating progress in your life. Practicing is going to make that progress in your life to go towards that dream. Now, let's say you do want to start a business and you want to start a mountain biking company. Okay, so that's what you're going to start, selling mountain bikes. That's fantastic. Well, then maybe you need to start your business plan. Start writing a business plan to reach the goal of starting that business, because you can't start a business on a dream. A business starts from a dream, but your business really gets started from writing a business plan. You can Google business plan templates and you will get a bunch of different options for you. It's not hard. If you're like, I don't know how to start a business, I don't know how to write a business plan, anything you need to know, you can find out free on the internet. You just got to Google and get specific. Business plan for a biking company. There you go. You're going to have so many options of education that is going to come up to you. Every area that you know you lack, that is not a strong suit for you, then commit yourself to being educated in the areas that you know you're weak. Commit yourself to going after those dreams and practice, because the more you practice, the more progress you're going to make in your dream and making that come to fruition. Oftentimes people think that, I have this 9-to-5 job. I'm going to work that till the rest of my life. And that's all there is for me. And if that's how you truly feel, and if that feeds your soul, and if that's what gets you up in the morning, and if that's what keeps you up at night because it feeds your soul so much, then great. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you feel stuck, if you feel like, wow, is this all there is for my life? I'm not contributing to society. I'm not serving anyone. I'm not giving anything back with all of the amazing skills and gifts that I have. Then start listening to those streams and start a plan. It's not going to happen on its own, but start with a plan. Get your business plan going. Think about how much money you're going to need to start your company, start your business. What does that look like? What does your operating capital look like? And again, if you don't know how to do that, it's okay. It's okay. Find someone who does. Find someone who can educate you. Find someone who has the knowledge. Find someone who started a small business and is willing to mentor you, is willing to take you under their wing and teach you everything that you need to know about starting a business. If you want to start a nonprofit charity to benefit, homeless children, then do that. Don't put it off. Do that. Start practicing to make that progress and making those dreams come true. I'm a firm believer that your life is only going to get better tomorrow. From today on is going to be your very, very best life. It can be that way if you want it to be, but you have to make that choice and make that decision. I have a great story. I photographed a lady many, many years ago, and her name was Kay, was her first name. And I still remember this photo shoot to this day. And it was probably 12 to 15 years ago that I photographed this woman. And Kay was 74 years old. She was going through a divorce, had been married for, 30 plus years. And at 74, she's going through a divorce. That to me, I'm thinking, wow, why wouldn't you just stick it out for the rest of your life? Why would you go through that radical of a life change at such a late age? And this is what she told me. She said, I am doing this photo shoot. I'm doing this session for me. I'm doing it for me, for no one else but for me, because I've always wanted to have a beautiful, beautiful portrait of myself. I'm not even going to give these as a gift to anybody. This is all for me. I want an album, and I want it to be for me. But I don't want those boring, stuffy church directory pictures where you just sit there and smile at the camera. I want dancing and movement and laughter, because the best years of my life are in front of me, not behind me. That will resonate with me until the day I leave the earth, for sure, because I saw this beautiful woman who could have been on the downhill of her life and letting life circumstances get her down, be a barrier for her to be happy. But she made a choice. She said, I will never look any better than I do today. Today is the youngest I'm ever going to look. I'll never look younger than I do today. I'll never be more fit than I am today. I'm 74 years old and I have a lot of life to live, and I'm going to live the rest of my life happy and filled with joy. Now that's a choice to me that absolutely speaks volumes. And a session that I photographed probably 12 to 15 years ago still resonates in my brain about this woman named Kay and how dedicated she was to making sure that the rest of her life was going to be the best of her life. And I know that you can do that too. You have that control. You have the power to do that. So practice, 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 not for perfection, because perfection you will never be reached. Perfection does not exist, and you really don't want it to, because if something's perfect, that means all progress stops. That means that you will stop growing. I don't ever want to stop growing. I want to keep learning how I can serve this community better, how I can encourage women more, how I can give someone the strength and the idea that, you know what, if she can do it, I can do it. That's what I never want to stop growing in my work, in my coaching, in my photography, in my empowerment and encouraging for other women. I don't want it to ever be perfect. I want to make progress all the time and keep evolving and find messages out there that women need to hear, that people need to hear, that will help them have the strength and courage to go after that dream that seems so untouchable and so unreachable. So I'm going to leave you with this today. Practice makes progress. Perfection does not exist. And I promise you, if you put this in your mindset, if you put this in your everyday thinking, your best life is in front of you. It is not behind you. Thank you so much for joining me. It makes me so happy to know that you're here. Have a great rest of the week. It's 4th of July week, so enjoy Independence Day on Thursday. I hope that you have a great time doing whatever it is that you're doing, visiting family, going to the lake. Be safe and have a great time. Thank you so much for watching. Have an awesome day. This is Pamela Jean.